bug. Oh, we're live.
Yeah, we're live. Finally, after like a half an hour of me trying to figure this out, we are live. Oh boy. Alright, so I have Random Witch with me to discuss I wouldn't call it an edgy topic, but seeing as I've lost subscribers over this, basically is the dark deities and the witches that love them. No, actually, it's more of a, hey, these guys aren't as bad as everybody portrays them to be, despite mythos, despite tall tales and all that good stuff. It's just basically a chit chat, and if anybody has any questions, Random can see the chat because I don't know what the hell's going on. So.
Well, right now there's nobody in chat, but I will go and start like sending links out everywhere.
That's good. Okay.
I already put it on Witches Live. Let's see if I can also put it on YouTube Pagans, and I'll put it on my own page as well. We're live.
Yeah, but the hoodies said, well, I got a shirt and a hoodie, and they were like, it won't ship till October. I'm like, what? It's like, get out of here, man. Yeah, I was like, what?
Get out of here. Bitch, you already got it.
Right? So I was like, okay. Whatever.
Alright, I sent out the call.
Call.
Caca! Okay, so dark deities and the witches that love them.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that title. It's wonderful. I love that. So, okay. Can we talk about the demonization of our gods for just a second, please? Okay. There is so much demonization of, well, first off, both of our gods, but I'll talk about Loki for a moment. There's so much demonization of Loki that people truly think that he is true, potent evil. And what he is, first off, Loki is chaos. Okay?
Right.
Chaos can be good and bad. Chaos is a neutral party. It comes when it is needed. And there is no stopping it. Okay? The myth of how Loki killed Balder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now, the mother of Balder, I believe it was either Frigg or Frigga or Freya, I can't remember the name, but it's Freya, I believe. She went around to every living thing and every plant on in the universes and asked them, don't harm Balder. But she left the holly plant alone. It's Frigga. Chris Ashburn is here. Chris, what's up, my girl? What's up? So I forgot to talk to this little tiny plant, Holly. And am I getting that right? It's Holly. I may be getting this wrong because I have ADD and my mind works real weird. Anyway, she forgot to talk to this plant and get its promise to her not to hurt Balder. Now, here's the thing. Chaos likes to prove you wrong. Chaos likes to prove that there is still a vulnerability in you, and you need to work on that vulnerability. And in this mythos of Loki convincing another god to kill Balder or throw a holly spear at Balder because it couldn't hurt him. Couldn't, air quotes a lot. Mistletoe! It's mistletoe. Why was I saying holly? It was mistletoe. Girl, thank you. Thank you. Holder the blind god, you're right. Bitch, thank you for helping me. My ADD was like, woo! Listen, people are going to judge me just for the fact of I couldn't remember it to a T, but I don't give a shit. Okay? It was mistletoe. Chris has got me, girl. She got me. So, chaos likes to prove that you have a vulnerability you need to work on. And it likes to kind of peel back those layers that you thought you had of protection to cut to the root of your problem. There was a problem with, Frigga thought, Balder was impenetrable, immortal, it could not be killed. I believe because she just didn't want to lose her, her son. Right. And that is like a fear type thing, even though it came out of a place of love and whatnot. I think it's like in my head when I think of how can we turn this into something even gods need to work on, you know what I mean? Like to reflect upon the living, the mortals. Right. Through this story is that Loki, Chaos, saw that this was a vulnerability that needed to be exposed and worked on. Okay? Yeah. And that's why he got Hodor the Blind, God, to kill Balder. To show that, in fact, no, you were wrong. You were wrong. There is a vulnerability here. And there's even another part of the story where they tried to revive and resurrect Balder, but a giant, which I can't remember the name of the giant, but it was a woman, a female giant, I believe, or an old hag woman. I'm thinking I'm remembering it correctly. That they had to go to everybody in the universe and ask, do you think Balder should be resurrected? Fuck. Got you. Chris has got me again. Chris is being helpful as fuck right now. So there was this woman or this giantess that said, no, I don't think he should be resurrected. And everybody thinks that that was Loki in shapeshifted form to reassess that no, this is against all the rules. Okay, you can't just do this. I'm teaching you a lesson for a reason. And that's what my interpretation of that whole story is he was trying to teach a lesson. He wasn't trying to be showboaty. No, because he was trying to teach a valuable lesson. Right. And people always bring up that and the fact that, he's destined to bring about Ragnarok and whatnot. And, he's the father and mother of monsters. And I'm just like, listen, you don't get it. You're judging him and you haven't even given him a chance. Chris just said it all. She goes, death always get what is hers. Ooh, there you go. Lesson learned. So that's one mythos that I really take into heart, and I'm like, how do I think of this as a follower of Loki and one of Loki's, witches, as it were, you know what I mean? Like, how do I interpret this mythos? And that's how I interpret it. Like, he was teaching a lesson. Yeah. You can't, okay, here's the deal. A lot of people judge dark deities before they get a chance to know them. And I think that's stupid. I think that's real dumb. If you're strong enough to deal with the strictness and the challenges that dark deities impose, then why you being judgmental? Why are you being all judgy?
Because it's the aforementioned title of dark. That's basically what, it pushes a majority of people away. And it's just like, but why though? When so many other deities kind of, they can be brutal too, in all honesty.
Yeah.
It's like with Set. It's just, oh my god. He is, vengeance incarnate. He's a sneaky, sneaky deity. He's tried to trick his brother when they were having the fight for Upper and Lower Egypt. And there were the task of trials. Granted, Set was bested almost every time because, Set's brother Osiris had help with everything. So it just kind of, it fucked him over, and it got to the point Set just chopped his brother up. So, there's that. And it's just, ugh. Just everybody doesn't want to deal with, I guess, the volatile, quote unquote, nature. But it's like, at the same time, you have to have it. You have to have it at some point.
I think that a lot of people, there's a lot of deities who are thought to be pure and good and whatnot, and they've done some real fucked up shit. But they're not supposedly dark deities. You know what I mean? Like, it's such bullshit. I think it's such bullshit. I really do. I think that a lot of the mythos from, the Norse pantheon is a lot of Loki actually giving the gods what they need. He just does it in a way that they didn't like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he does it through trickery. Bitch, that's who he is, but at least you got your hammer. You got your wall, bitch. It's just like, did you want the thing or did you not want the thing? Bitch, I gave you the thing. Bitches love things. Be grateful. No, they got to bitch and whine and sew its mouth shut. And it's just like, you're ungrateful. He did so many good things. I don't care about all the bad shit he did. You have to level the good out. You know what I mean? You gotta get as good as you give. That's chaos for you. Chaos can bring some great manifestations to your life.
Yeah. You always have to have that counterbalance.
Mm-hmm.
Not everything's rainbows and, unicorns and all that good shit.
Fucking true.
It's just, you have to eventually come to accept whatever's given in the most undesirable path. So,
I think it's just, I don't know. I think it's a pity that a lot of people don't give these gods and goddesses a chance. I really do think it's a pity. I think it's a pity that more people don't work with Hades. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure that he has a lot to teach somebody.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I know that there's going to be an influx of people working with Hell because I can just see it happening. I mean, Chris Ashburn, the one I've been saying, Chris, she got my back, Chris Ashburn. She's on the YouTube channel Invoking the Balance, if you want to look that up. She is a witch that works mainly with Hell, and it's coming up. Like, there's more people looking into accepting help or accepting learning from quote unquote dark deities. Hate that. I wish we didn't have to keep using it. You know what I mean? Like, they're just deities. They're neutral deities. You know what I mean? Do they have good and bad parts of them? Hell to the yeah.
Yeah, you
But I
have to just work with them just for, revenge spells or curses or whatever. Because at that point, if that's all you're trying to get out of them, they're not going to help. You're going to get zero
or
action.
or they're gonna help you into a corner. They're gonna help
Yeah.
you into a corner, and they're gonna leave you there. You know what I mean? Like, that's another thing. I think that using deities is not really a good idea. I think wanting to work with deities and understand deities and learn from deities is probably the best spiritual relationship that you can have with a deity. In my opinion, that's how I feel about my relationships. Is I don't actually like. There's very, very few and far between spells that I ask for help from my deities. I just don't. I'm just like, um, usually when I work with my deities, it's just to learn. Like, it's me learning things. Or it's me, worshiping or giving offerings or just being in their presence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I can tell you right now that if you tried to use Loki, oh, he would probably manifest a lot of bad shit for you. Because he's just not the type of deity to be used. Like, I talk about sometimes people trying to bribe deities,
Yeah.
and it's just like, that's a bad idea. If you're going to give an offering to a deity, it better come with no strings attached.
Exactly.
Because if it comes with a string attached, they're going to take that as a bribe or as tried to be payment. And it's just, I don't think that that's a good idea.
Well,
That's,
bottom line is just disrespectful.
it is. To me, it is. That's my opinion. We could be wrong. That's my opinion. Chris Ashburn says, like, Thor beat a dude with one of his goat's legs because the dude messed with said goat. That's right. He was like, don't fuck with my goat, rips goat's leg off and feeds him with it. But yet he's still loved.
Yeah.
And she says, and I like Thor, but I'm making a point. Even the light gods harm.
Hmm.
It's fucking true.
We always get that, but it's just one of those where in text, especially when texts are getting translated, you have the translator, shed a lighter light on the heroes and, villains stay villains, and that's kind of how it is, and it's just, you have to
But
read
it's
in
like,
between the lines or find an older text at that point.
yeah, that's like Athena and the Gorgon, Medusa.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, the Medusa was, the most beautiful person in the world, and she was violated in one of Athena's, like, temples or something. I'm getting this completely wrong, probably, but like, and she turned Medusa into the Gorgon, you know? And yet Athena is still well loved. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I'm just like, there's so many light and dark pieces of gods and goddesses. And just because we happen to work with what people would call dark deities, but we would call neutral deities or chaotic deities, and we work with them well, and we understand our place with them, and we understand how to learn from them, then we're looked at as shady. You know what I mean? Which I think that's sad that people are so close-minded.
Well, it's
Because you said you lost subscribers when you came out as you worked with Set. And I'm like, why the fuck would you lose subscribers?
Yeah, it was really weird. I got a message. It was like, oh, you have 2 Anubis statues. I was like, no, the other one's Set, the larger one. And it was just kind of like, yeah. Whoop. was like, okay, well, bye, I guess. I mean, damn. If, that's the reason why I'm losing subscribers. But it's set, he's very, very chaotic. He's the god of deserts. He's the opposite of, to have that counterbalance of Upper and Lower Egypt. He was the god of deserts. He was the god of storms. He's known to be a shapeshifter because when you look at a picture of him on walls and things like that, it's like, okay, is he a jackal? Is he an aardvark? What the hell is he? And it got to the point, ancient Egyptians just called him the scent animal. And either he could have been a hippo at one point, an alligator. He also had a scorpion head and ivory tombs. But it was only in the ivory tombs he had scorpion heads. So that's kind of still looking into that because I'm very, very curious. But it's just he was basically a shapeshifter. And his followers, quote unquote, the alligators that were in the Nile that, ate people that, waded in the water and they were just, fucking off and got eaten by an alligator. It happens today, so, whatever. But scorpions, spiders, anything like that, it was associated with him, and everything got a bad rap. But, Set also, in the mythos of the sun, when the sun goes down every day, Set does battle on the boat of the sun god and battles the serpent that eats the sun. So it's like, is he really that bad if he's doing battle with a serpent? Granted,
yes,
the moon comes up, but it's just.
Do you like the sun?
It's.
Well, that was brought to you by Set. Bitch, if you wanted to
Also,
say, you gotta like him.
Eclipses and new moons, they're blamed on Set, and I'm like, but they're not bad though.
No, but they're not. Okay, that's
not.
But they're not.
That's all you really say. But it's not though.
But it's not though. I think that it's so interesting to me that yes. Sorry, Karina Nature Lover just said she was violated in one of Athena's temples by a god and sought Athena for compassion. Athena blamed Medusa and so therefore cursed her to be the way she is known. So, and still Athena is one of the most beloved deities in that pantheon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But anyway, back to what I was saying. I find it kind of interesting that a lot of chaotic gods, or quote unquote darker deities, have the shape-shifting ability.
Mm-hmm.
You have Set, you have Loki, you have the Morrigan. You have more that I can't remember at this time, but there's more. Believe me when I say there are more.
Oh yeah.
But the three that I can, off the top of my head is, Loki, Set, and the Morrigan, and they're very neutral, very sometimes very helpful, and sometimes very not helpful deities. Like there's a neutrality to them. There is a underlaying of chaos to them. Zeus can shift into an eagle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like it's interesting to me that those that work with chaos often end up being shapeshifters, because I think that is a form of chaos, is to never actually be one form forever.
Yeah.
But to evolve and shift and transform. So what are some things that Set has helped you with?
Well, I started my path, and I won't even say I'm Kemetic still, because my matron is Hera, and Hera actually came to me first because I've never had a good standing with my mother. And it's been that way forever. I take after my dad, so we all know how that goes. But Hera came to me first, and it was nice. I didn't really look for a male deity for the longest time. Set, I've been working with Set for about 10 years, and he helps with protection. He has helped me find self-worth that I didn't really give any time or any shits to. It was just like, I'm this, and it's not the greatest and whatever, and it was just like him just like, no. I've gotten beaten up. I've gotten beaten up by him for that.
Yep.
It's just like, what the fuck? It's like, get up, stop doing this, stop moping. But also with things in the home that weren't that great before I moved out and everything, things in the home, he stirred things up, but to my favor to an extent, just so I could, instead of being down here, I didn't necessarily have a foot up, but I was just on equal playing field.
Yes.
But he's always good if you need protection, if you need to kind of stay out of somebody's way, or you need somebody to cool off around you, to kind of be quote unquote invisible in a sense, just be away from their radar. He's really good for that.
Excuse me. Yeah, with Loki, it's so easy to like go invisible, or I feel like he's a very charming god at times, and when you need to like win somebody's like, it's so weird. Like, I've gone to him because I'm a Sagittarius. I hate lying. I don't like lying. It's not in me, but there's been times in my life where if somebody didn't believe a lie, my life would be in danger. You know what I mean? Like, I've been in those situations, you know what I mean? So I've gone to him and been like, I need you to make them believe this. And on each of those times, which there's not even been a full handful of those times, it's been like twice, all right? Each of those times, the situation that I was in, like, popped like a bubble. Like, it wasn't even there anymore. Like, it went out of their heads. So he is good for like when you need protection. He's works almost instantly. Like you said, that Set is very protective of you. I can agree that Loki is very protective of me when it comes to my physical safety and like the safety of like the security of my home. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the security of me and my children. Like, he might not like children, but like he definitely keeps mine safe. And I won't say he doesn't like children. That's not what I'm going to say. I will say that he's not exactly playful when it comes to children. Like, I don't ask him to work with my children. I would just ask for protection, and he's like, boom, there, done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's understandable.
So I think that our deities get really bad raps for like, I get why people would think they're evil, quote unquote, but like, there's no way that I would call Loki evil. I just don't see that in him. I see chaos in him, which some people would call chaos in and of itself evil. And that's just like, you need to realize, like, that's ridiculous. it's all kinds of ridiculous. Like, chaos is neutral in and of itself. It comes when it's needed, and there's no stopping it.
That's why we have chaotic good and we have chaotic evil.
Yep. It's all things. It is all things. Sometimes you may not want it, but it's there.
And just a disclaimer real quick, we're not hating on other deities. It's just, we're just trying to further explain that, hey, not every deity that comes across that, opposing the heroic, mythos or anything is bad. That's all we're trying to say.
Oh, definitely not. Like, I've wanted so much to actually work with lighter deities. Throughout my entire time of working with deities, in my original times, started trying to work with Apollo and Demeter. Some of the nicest deities you'd ever meet. You know what I mean? Like, they're just so nice. Like, I've wanted to work with, Aphrodite and Apollo and Demeter and Isis and all kinds of deities that are some of the most beloved deities out there. And it's just like they're just not meant to work with me right now. Maybe in the future, for sure. But for right now, I'm going through the trials and tribulations and challenges of working with neutral deities and chaotic deities. Deities that a lot of the times work with death. Like, I work with Hecate and the Morrigan, and they are very close to working with the veil and working with, the spirits of the dead and working with journeying, all kinds of stuff. And even I, after having worked with Hecate and Loki for so long, was still terrified of working with the Morrigan whenever she came to me. I was terrified. I was like, oh no, it's going to happen again. Everything in my life is going to crumble to pieces. Like, because I've done the whole beginning your path with a dark deity, and like they come in and they kind of burn your fake, false foundations to the ground so they can build you back up. And that's a thing that a lot of neutral, chaotic deities do. They burn away the things that you no longer need, or they break the things that you were leaning on as crutches.
Yeah,
Like,
that's why in tarot, a lot of deities that are like that are mainly the tower.
mm-hmm.
I'm just like, hey, that's a nice looking card.
It's interesting. It's so when I worked with Hecate first, she basically destroyed my entire life in order for me to have a better and safe life. When I started working with the Morrigan, or really when she started working with me, because I was trying to ignore the fuck out of her, because I was scared, bitch. I was like, that terrifies me. Like, truly and really it does. So I was trying to ignore the fuck out of her, which is not a good idea. Don't do that. That's not a good idea. And she came and destroyed one of my crutches that I was leaning on, which was, I, for the most of my life, have been on ADD medication. And for some reason, as soon as she entered my life, I had that crutch taken away. And it completely changed the way I live and the way I think. My memory is shit now. Like, it always was shit, but it's so much shittier now. And I have to, like, physically and mentally try 1,000 times harder for anything and everything. Like, as soon as I got off my medication, I actually found out that I had a thyroid problem. I had to start taking thyroid medication. So in that sense, she was doing me a favor. She was helping me with my health, and she was, making sure that I found out about my thyroid issue, and now I have to take this medicine for the rest of my life for my thyroid, and it's not an addictive medicine like the ADD medicine was. I had to go through withdrawal, I had to go through dealing with that addiction, and and it wasn't the fact that I was abusing these pills. I was literally taking one a day, which is what you're supposed to do.
Right.
But I was still addicted because they're methamphetamines. And my brain had to restart. I had to like go through a depression. I had to go through, I literally got to the point where when I was bored, I would just go sleep. There was nothing I was doing. I was literally sleeping my days away and sleeping my nights away because I was in this rock bottom place, and there was nothing wrong with my life. Here's the thing. It was me. It was me and dealing with the loss of that crutch. It was me, like, literally mourning myself because, like, I felt like a huge part of myself got ripped away. But it wasn't really me. It was just the enhanced parts of me enhanced by my crutch. So now I'm, trying to change and get better. But the reason why I brought this up is I think it would benefit so many people to work with these deities that come in and bring in the chaos. Mainly for the fact of they're doing it for a fucking reason. Fucking trust them. They're helping you. There's so many ways in which when I worked with these gods and goddesses that I was just like, this is fucking awful. And then in the end I found out, oh fuck, did I need that? Oh my god, I needed that so much. I didn't want it, but I fucking needed it. I think it's a pity that more people don't work with these deities.
No.
It really is.
So, I have a question. Because we were talking about the, like, flat-out demonization. Because Set has, over time, when the Temple of Set, not the organization from the 70s, but the actual temples in Egypt were basically, overrun and destroyed and everything. So that somehow became an incarnation of Satan, just because of the name association.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. Seeing as Loki normally is depicted with horns in most literature, and everybody's like, oh man, horns, we all know what that means.
Yeah, literal demonization. I can tell you there's so many people that are like, Loki is really the devil just for the Norse people. And I'm just like, oh, boo, listen. I think you need a timeout. Go drink a drink, cool off, do something. But the thing is, we can say that about Pan. We can say that about Kronos. You know what I mean? Kronos. Yeah. I'm saying it the way I want to fucking say it. Kronos. About all horned gods, but definitely just from the way Loki is, I think he is demonized on a constant level. Because he's not like all of the other, he's different. That's what it is. He's different. So people think that things that are different and that they can't understand are demonized.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's very funny, like, he thinks it's hilarious. I can tell you right now, he thinks it's hilarious. I can tell you right this second. Because he's played on that. Like, with me, like, he's like, are you sure I'm not Pan? Are you sure I'm not Lucifer? Like, are you sure? Are you sure? Like, he's in on the joke, basically. And it's really funny. Like, he thinks a lot of things nowadays are funny. Whenever I'm like talking with him, and Okay, so you know about the Marvel universe, right?
Yeah.
Okay, he thinks it's hilarious that people are like loving Loki now. Like, there's so many people that are He's like, this is so funny. I love it. And even though it's like basically nothing to do with him, but it makes him giggle, makes him find hilariousness in it. And let me just tell you, there are fandoms. I don't know if you know what these are, but there are fandoms out there that are pairing him with Thor in a
Yeah.
romantical sense, and he cannot stop laughing at this weird Thor key thing, and he thinks it's fucking hilarious. He gets so much amusement out of it, and I'm just like, yeah, boo, I hear you. This is hilarious. It was funny. I was like, I was just like, oh shit, yes. But I hear you about the whole literal demonization of people saying that Set is the devil and Loki is the devil, and it's just like, no, just no, just no. It's not. Good try though. Good try. Why don't you actually meet them, work with them? You tell me he's the devil. You tell me he doesn't take care of his people.
Yeah.
Go ahead, try. Try. I'll call you a liar every time.
Exactly.
We have like 6 people watching. There are a bunch of people in the chat. Hello, Johnny Dragon, Karina Nature Lover, Dreamer of Colors. They're all in the chat.
Oh, nice.
Dreamer of Colors says that's why people like to call them evil. We love our illusions and our crutches. So when I was talking earlier about when you work with them and they destroy something that you thought you needed, but really, it's something that you needed to let go, and you don't like it, but you needed it. That's about that. Chris Ashburn says also, the devil serves a purpose.
Yep. Very true.
A lot of people don't give that into account. Like, there is actual purpose to the devil.
Oh, yeah.
If you believe in the devil. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm a devil worshiper. I'm just saying I agree that the devil has merit and purpose. You're welcome.
We're just trying to say the devil ain't all bad. That's all.
Hello, freaky unicorn.
Kind of going over into that topic, there's also she's taken a rise, I've come to find, on the internet and people I've been watching. Lilith, actually.
Oh, girl, Lilith
Lovely
was
Lilith.
like, I was reading stuff up on her, and I was watching this, like, I don't remember what I was watching, but I was watching something on YouTube, and it was talking about Lilith, and I was like, it's so interesting. It's really, truly interesting. Her whole mythos is so, it's just interesting, and
it's insanely vast, actually.
It truly is. Like, there's the nuances that you don't, like, at first you're like, okay, yeah, oh, wait a second. Wait a second. That's interesting. Like, for the main fact of, she was actually created from the same dust as Adam. And she wasn't created from Adam. She was created from dust. Therefore, she wanted to be equal because she was created from equal things. Yep. And that's why she left the Garden of Eden, because she demanded to be equal, not his lesser. You know what I mean? And I think that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
there are little things that you can learn from a lot of different deities, and you wouldn't think about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. That's all
It's
I'm saying.
interesting how they branch off, but at the same time they can intertwine. It's nice. Because for people that don't exactly know what they're looking for, if they're not dead set on something, it's nice to have just that whole arc of, well, there's this, there's that, but also branch off into here, but then they can come down and go every which way. It's really nice.
Yeah, I completely agree. Sorry, I need a drink. Caffeine in the morning. So do we have any advice for people that want to work with deities such as ours? Do you have any advice for the beginner, or maybe the intermediate witch that, you know, knows how to take care of herself, or even beginners that know nothing? Of how do you approach set? How do you honor set? What is there some ways to what are some things to expect in the beginnings of working with set?
Well, let's see. If you want to, not exactly coerce, but if you want to work with him, and he's very intimidating because he can take a bunch of shapes, a bunch of forms, whatever. Because in some mythos, he's a giant dragon, and that's always kind of freaky. The person I talked to locally, that's how he came to this person, and they were just like, nope, I'm done. Nope. So it's hard to tell what exactly to expect because everybody's different, but there's a lot of him observing you just to see your initial reactions. You can lay down basically whatever offering you want for him, and he'll just he won't turn his nose up at it, but at the same time, he's like, okay, what do you want? It's
Yeah.
always one of those, what do you want type deals, because he's not used to, hey, buddy,
Yeah.
you're really cool. It's hard. It's really hard to get deities like this to be warmed up to you. And it's
Yeah.
not it doesn't take a week. It takes a very, very long time. I mean, I still fuck up. I still get, slap on the wrist. My fingers burn when I light candles. It's not always peachy keen, but I'd say if you want to work with set, take a lot of time to meditate on your self. Your self-worth means a lot. And if you think, be prepared for that pressure, because he's not about that. He's not about mopey people. You will get kicked in the head a bunch of times until you realize, if you want to be under this umbrella with me, you're gonna have to lighten up. You're gonna have to not be so down on yourself. Some nice offerings for him though, by the by. He's always known for liking lettuce. He also likes apples, anything that's with fertility, because he doesn't have a bunch of children like other deities do in the Egyptian pantheon. It's only known that Anubis is his son, but other mythos say that he had no children at all. But it's whatever stories you want to take and whatever ones resonate with you. He also likes chocolates, marshmallows, coconut rum. Those are all what I've come to find. You might find something new. You might find he likes strawberries. He might like flowers, whatever. But lettuce is a main staple in his mythology. For whatever reason, I always thought that was weird. I was like, Egyptian lettuce. All right. but just take it a step at a time. If, and that goes for intermediate witches too. It's just, it takes a long time for these guys and ladies to warm up because they've been shit on for eons. And it's just hard to get in the main set that, hey, I want to follow you. Hey, you're not all that bad. And I've come to realize, and, let's try and meet somewhere in the middle somehow. I have my energies that I'm going to give to you. I have this offering to give to you. And yet, at first, they're going to be a little iffy. But that comes with any deity, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Chris Ashburn said, I met Set once. A friend worked with them. Freaking huge, black skin god, giant presence, very strong, silent, emperor type energies. He gave me this nod to the head, nod of the head, like, very well, then you'll do. Tell them this. So, what I will say is, having worked with Loki, I can attest to the fact that they don't expect you to like them. They expect you to want something from them. And when it was made very apparent after like the long time that I was working with him that I did adore him and I think he's amazing and this and that and the other, that, I did feel a closeness. Like I felt like he wasn't as on guard with me and he opened up to me and we have a great spiritual relationship now. But it did take time. Like it wasn't just like, hey, you're awesome, can I be like working with you, like what's up? Like he's just like, like you know what I mean? Just like who is this? What do they want? But yes, I can attest to the fact of they're used to being shat on. And they're going to think that you've come to either use them, bribe them, or shit on them. And so it's going to be a little cold for a little while. It's going to be a little cold.
A little cold, a little silent.
A little testing the waters. But I'm very happy with my current relationship with Loki spiritually. It is very... There are still times where I have messed up, just like you. I have definitely messed up from time to time, where he has literally asked me, do you actually trust me or not? Like, there was a time recently where he was like, our next step is channeling. It's time to invoke me. And I was like, nah, fam, nah, I'm scared of this. Nah, no. And he came to me and he was like, do you trust me or not? Do you really think I'd put you in danger? Then get over it. Like he was like, I've been here this whole time. Do you trust me or not? Would I put you in danger? Fucking get with my program. You know what I mean? Like, so I fucked up a little bit, but once I did what he wanted, I felt that reattachment of like warmth and hilarity and amusement and fun. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so working with Loki, first off, come to him with respect. If you disrespect him, you don't want what will happen. Listen to me, don't disrespect him. He is not about being humiliated. He gets it enough from everybody fucking else. If you want to work with him, you best not treat him like a fucking joke. Treat him with respect, with honor. And it's so funny. Like, he showed me so many different shifts of himself, and he showed me some of the ugliest shifts, like some that other people would think would be completely ugly, like the nearly bones and skin and him tied to the boulder. Like, he showed me what he thought people would see as the ugliest pieces of him, and I just kept saying, you are beautiful. Like, he was truly magnificent and beautiful, and I just kept saying, you're beautiful, you're beautiful, you're so beautiful. Even in this, what other people would see as ugly, I saw it as tragic and beautiful and just amazing. So don't bullshit a bullshitter. Don't lie to him. That's one thing. Be honest. Okay? If anybody's gonna lie in your relationship, it's gonna be him. Be very honest. You know what I mean? Just be fucking honest. Um, you can be very honest with him, and he. First off, just understand, if you don't like being made fun of, and you don't like being tricked, you're not gonna like working with him. At least for my part, he likes to laugh at me, and he likes to be amused by me and my shortcomings sometimes. Like, he's like, he thinks it's hilarious. And he's just like, you'll get it eventually. It's just fun to watch you struggle. that's as nice as I can put it. It's just fun to watch you fuck up sometimes. It brings me hilarity. Working with him, start by just being very respectful. It's really weird. I've tried to actually make him sacred space in my house. I've tried to give him an altar before. I've tried and tried and tried. He doesn't want an altar.
Really?
Weirdly enough, he just basically said, nah, you're my altar. He's
Well,
like,
alright.
I've tried to make him like special places. I've tried to like, it just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. It feels like it almost feels like he doesn't want to be boxed in. He wants to have free reign in my house, to be wherever he wants.
Okay, I can understand that. Yeah.
So that's as weird as I can tell you. Like, he's all around here. He does enjoy the fact that I talk about him so much. I mean, who doesn't like being bragged about? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
He is going to put you into some tight places, and he is going to push you and challenge you. He's definitely, if you're looking for straight up answers, don't come to Loki with questions and look for straight up answers. He's either going to give you more questions, or he's going to tell you a lie and see if you can find the truth yourself. He is not the one for straight up answers. He's not going to spoon feed you. He wants you to find it. That's why I think that a lot of people who are working with like their intuition would be great to work with Loki, because he's so challenging. Like, he challenges you to find the answer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Which is how it should be.
As for offerings, I have given him wine. I believe I have also given him whiskey, bourbon, tequila. I give a lot of spirits. Like, I give a lot of alcohol. I want to eventually make my own mead, but I think that's more of a Thor thing. I don't really think that he would like mead. He's got a refined palate. Basically, he likes anything you give to him. From my experience, if you give something to him and it truly has no attaching strings, like, he's happy. He's happy because, you know, you thought of him. And I mean, I've given him clocks, like time, and he's fucked up the clock before. Like, okay, weird story, but this is hilarious. This is just like Loki. We bought a clock, and it was specially made to look like Loki, and it's like made out of this record. It's made out of a record. and he fucks with his clock. Like, he literally, like, changes the time to be wrong and then changes the time to be right. So you never know when the clock is actually right or when it's wrong. And none of our other clocks in the house actually work unless it's my man's clock in the bedroom, where he needs this clock to fucking work so he can go to work on time. That's the only clock that my God does not fuck with, is my man's clock. But every other clock in the house is always wrong. Like, literally, if you look on my video that I just made about a witch's brew, my microwave has 000 on it because it won't stay in clock form. So he's literally taken time as his offering, because I gave him a clock, therefore he thinks my time is his now, and he can fuck with it however he pleases. And it's funny, and I get it. I understand it. That's his. Time is his. I get it. I understand it, which is a weird concept of giving a god time. But there it is. Like, it's fun. It's wonderful. Try it. Just try it out. I'm telling you, you'll have fun, or it'll be awful for a time, and then you'll have fun. All right, you take over real quick. I'll be right back.
Alrighty. Trying to think. With the equinoxes coming up, and everything turning into fall, and all the harvest getting done and coming to an end and everything, if you're looking to invest time in a deity, I think it would be a good time just to have a calmer sense, I suppose, would be the right word. Just trying to figure out how to word this right. But with the equinox and everything, and we have Samhain coming up, and then there's Yule, and all the barren trees, and all the dead grass, and not everything being fruitful and bountiful as it was in springtime and everything like that. It's a good time to look into these deities, because it's kind of their time to shine, in a sense. I know what's said it is, because everything's just, the whole ground is just dead grass. There's, dead tree branches everywhere. And he likes it. I'm trying to find something outside to make a sturdier altar for the outside, because everything I've tried to look for, either it's too far away for me to get, or it's insanely expensive. And I'm like, oh my god. Why?
Yeah. Yep. I want to basically make like a little, almost like a flower bed for like witchy herbs and stuff. But I kind of want like some witchiness to it, like actual, like maybe a statue or a cauldron in the middle, something like that. And I really want to redo my porch, and because right now I have a very small table on it, and what I want to do is get a spool, a giant spool, turn it into a table, and cut like a little piece of it off and put it up against the outside of my porch, and just kind of make like a little tarot place where I can go and read, and outside in the sunlight, or while it's snowing. God, I love the snow. I love winter and fall and all of this wonderfulness. Hello, Julie Harris. This conversation is about quote unquote working with dark deities and or dark deities and the witches that love them.
Yeah.
This whole chat, I highly recommend, if you just got here, just go back to the beginning and just watch it. It was so fun. And we really go in depth about, you know, how it is to work with gods that are demonized by, you know, people. And people judge your deities and judge you for following your deities, and it's just like, judge, go ahead, judge. You're not going to be able to have the amazing lessons that these amazing deities can teach you. So go ahead, keep being judgy, and I'll be sitting here learning from my deity, and you can fuck off.
Yeah, if somebody shuts you out because of a deity that you adore to no end, and it doesn't matter if it's the Morgan, Hecate, Loki, it could be Hercules, it could be Poseidon, it doesn't matter. If they're shutting you out because of that, they're not worth your time.
Truly.
There's no way.
Very true.
It's unfortunate because so many people here, when I've tried to do group things, it's just like a cool kids club is how they make it seem. And it's just like, oh, well, you know, we have Athena and we have Bellona and we have, you know, all these righteous ladies and men and everything. And then it's like, well, I have Anubis, I have Set, and they're just like,
yeah, you get this little look, like, you work with Loki? Like, how is that possible? Like, why would you want to work with Loki? You know what I mean? Which is why, personally, I think that's why I talk about it so much, because getting the word out that, you know, hey, he's not as bad as it seems. Even though I tell people, listen, he could completely fuck up your life, I also say, but it's exactly what you'll need. He's not going to give you something that you don't need. He's always going to be there to help push you and challenge you to be better. Now, whether you meet those challenges is up to you.
meet the push head on with a leg up.
Mm-hmm.
Is the best way, the best advice. Like, you know, there's going to be a hurdle, just meet it head on.
Yeah, that's very true. It's so fun because recently, in the past like 2 months, I was on a journey and I actually met Set. And in that same space of journeying, I also met Osiris, I also met Anubis, and I met Isis and Thoth. And what was said to me was, Isis asked me, are you here to learn from a god, or are you here to learn from the god that you want? And I was like, oh shit, she is testing me hard right now. And I was like, you know what? I'm here to learn straight up. Just learn. And she goes, so you would sit in front of Set and learn from him? Would you sit in front of Anubis and learn from him? Would you sit in front of Osiris and learn from him? You would sit in front of any of these deities and learn. And I answered, I was like, yes, I would. You know what I mean? Because she was like, are you here to look for your favorite, or are you here to fucking learn? Because I was like, I came into it and I was like, I hope that I'm here to meet Anubis. Hardcore, I want to meet Anubis. Hardcore. Oh, I'm excited. And I realized, bitch, you're not here to meet Anubis. You're here to meet people you can learn from. And that includes Set. And I was like, I've only ever known very, very little about Set. And I was like, I know that he's basically what people call the Egyptian devil. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I've heard that many times. And I was like, I'm working with the quote-unquote Norse devil, so, I mean, why not work with the Egyptian one? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
was it intimidating? Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. But it was also fantastic. And I do look forward to expanding and learning with those deities. Like eventually, I don't know if it's supposed to be now. I don't know if it's like a long, slow process. I'm ready for it. I am. I truly am. Because weirdly enough, I've tried to work with Isis before. I have. And she's been silent. She has not talked to me until 2 months ago. So it's really weird how my progression with working with deities has become. But I just think that it's a wonderful process that more people should try out.
Yeah, and just be careful, because when a deity loves you enough, they can be quite possessive.
Yes.
Because when I tried to work with Sobek just to get for astral travel mainly and for personal defense of myself, the backlash I got. Set was like, nope, you don't need that. You don't need that. I got that. I'm like, yeah, but you know, it's Sobek, and he's like, nope, you're mine. And it's like any other deity that has come across that I'm like, hey, I wanna learn more. I don't even wanna, go in that direction. It's just been like, nope, I've been slapped down so many times. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. And then I have Harris snickering. She's like, bitch, I was here first, so I don't know why. I'm like, no.
No, I mean, it's fucking true. I remember this happening to me as well with Hecate. Because when she came, when she came to me, I was actually trying to summon and work with Apollo and Demeter. And then for the longest time, I didn't need anybody else. Don't ask for anybody else. We're too busy. That was her answer. We're busy, and you want to go off and work with somebody else. You're working. You don't have time. That was her answer. I was like, okay, all right, Mom, I hear you. And then finally, when I, started working with Loki, she was like, I will tolerate his presence for you. But that is, she's a no nonsense goddess, and Loki is a lot of nonsense. So they don't mesh at all. It's like, they just don't mesh, but it's really, really amazing when they actually work together. It's a lot of manifestation and power and action going on all at the same time. And we have some people. Oh, hold on. Door.
It's a ding dong disher. I hope everybody's having a good Thursday. I think it's Thursday. Yep, Thursday. The days blend together all the time. I'm trying to figure out if there's a way I can see the chat, but probably not. I'm going to screw something up so bad. Ooh. Unicorn said summer is nasty and hot. Yeah. It's something. It is something. Shit. This will help. Oh, I found the button. Now I know what old people feel like when they try and fix crap on the computer. Holy smokes. I keep fucking with the window, so now it's... Okay, there we go. I think I got the chat.
Ooh, bitch. Guess what just came in the mail?
Yourself.
I love it.
Ooh.
Look how cute it is. I'm gonna drink some coffee out this. Oh, girl, you don't even know.
We almost matched.
Everything. Oh my gosh. I love it. Yep, I love it. Super a lot. Oh, yes.
Julie,
that makes me happy.
Like one freaking thing right, like one instant message on my computer, and I'm almost 30. Like, I'm a total zen. I'll fuck up quality. I don't know how, but I'll fuck it up.
Yep. Sorry, I had to throw the box away. My trash can is full. I have a little trash can near me, and I was like, that box is gonna fall the fuck out. Oh, by the way, y'all didn't even know. Guess who's wearing my merch? Girl, show them.
Like, crouch, kind of. Like, yeah, it finally came in yesterday. I was like, girl.
I was so excited. I was so excited. I was like, tell me, are they soft? Are they nice? Tell me about the fabric. And she was like, they're super soft. And I was like, fuck yes.
Yeah, they're super soft. I didn't have to put fabric softener or anything in because I drowned my clothes in fabric softener, and I was like, nah. And the hoodie has like that nice feel where it's like, you know how you have like that one hoodie you wear forever, so it's already like,
yes,
the material's like worn in. That's how the hoodie feels. I'm like, damn.
Oh, I'm excited. I have a hoodie coming to me soon. It's my brewing one with the cauldron and all the potions behind it.
Yeah, that's the one I was looking at.
Hoodie that's coming. I got it in green.
Ooh.
I'm excited about it. But now I can drink and sip out of my mug. Love it.
No tea, no shade, bitch.
Fucking hilarious. But yes. Love it. Love it. Did you finally find the chat? Are you reading it?
Yeah, I finally found the chat. I finally found how to like get the window to like not be wonky. So naturally,
yeah, it takes a while to figure this fucking shit out. It took me forever.
So with your tarot and things like that, when you do your divination, just even personally, just any type of divination, do you find that Loki just kind of is there? Not saying tampering, but just kind of like, what you doing?
There has definitely been times where Loki has been straight up like, just tell them they're fucking up. Just tell them they are fucking it up right now. And I'm like, bitch, I can't say that. Like, there's no way that I could just be like, bitch, you fucking up right now. What are you doing? I can't do that. I have to, like, you know, I have to delve into the matter and figure out, like, he's not the type of person that loves to give straight answers. And with me, my tarot technique, or my oracle technique really, is very straight up. It's very, you know, cut to the quick of the matter type thing. So he's not really around me a lot when I do my divination, but he definitely inspires me to search for the answers myself. He definitely does, because let me tell you something. There's been so many people that want me to give a reading to whether or not they're supposed to be working with Loki, and every single time Loki has been like, radio fucking silent to them. Don't tell them nothing. Tell them nothing. And I'm like, okay, why? And he's just like, if the bitch is supposed to work with me, then they'll find out for themselves. Because you are not going to give them that answer. I don't care. No. And I was like, okay, I can't give you that answer. I literally have to tell them, I have no idea whether or not you're supposed to, but he's saying, shut the fuck up and tell you nothing. Because if you are supposed to be working with him, you're the one that's supposed to figure that out for yourself. That's one of his challenges. If you work with him, you're supposed to figure that out. You're not supposed to ask somebody and get the answer, apparently.
Well, it's understandable.
Like, he wants people to work. He wants people to work for it. You know what I mean? He wants effort put in.
Yeah. When I've done things, when I've been in crisis, and I'm just like, hey, is this the right thing I should be doing? Like, I'm thinking really hard about, like, fucking somebody up, and it's like, should I be doing this? I asked the wrong person, because that's like, yes, yes, get them out of here, fuck them up. I'm like,
okay,
that's not really what I was looking for. I want a nice, like,
no. Girl, I can tell you right now that has happened to me with Loki. Literally, I was like, I really want to fuck this person up. They're pissing me the fuck off. I'm super mad. All I want to do is bitch slap them. What should I do? And Loki's just like, I'm here. I'm here. What are we doing? Like, hey, he even straight up asked me one time, so why aren't you destroying this person? He literally just straight up asked me,
damn,
you're mad. This person is obviously disrespecting you. Why haven't you destroyed them? Because that's how he deals with people. Like, if people come against them, he straight up just fucking destroys them. And he is very curious as to why I wasn't doing that at the time. And I had to literally explain to him that where I was at this time was that. So I was doing a lot of shadow work. And I was like, I just am trying not to give in to my baser instincts of just fucking a bitch up. And I was trying to do what I would call the right thing. And he basically told me, yeah, but you know, when you reach out your hand and help, you're just going to get slapped back. Why even try? I go, I gotta try. Gotta try. Gotta do it. Don't know why, just got to. Because listen, there are some people that call Loki the god of revenge. And I personally love revenge. I think it's wonderful. But with where I am right now in my craft, I cannot search for revenge at this time because it's just not where I'm supposed to be. But I do know for a fact that if I were to ever absolutely need some destruction, mayhem, and revenge, Loki's up for the ride. Like, hardcore. Like, who we destroying today? Like, he's just there for it. He just is. Like, he's very protective of his witches. Like, I believe Set is very protective of you. Like, he's ready to fucking destroy a bitch. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, so it's almost noon here. It's 11:30, and I have not eaten today. So I'm saying we wrap this up and we do it again in, like, I don't know, a couple of weeks. Get on here and have another chat.
Yeah.
Sound good?
Yeah, because by that time the equinox is already passed, and there's always good shit for that.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks to everybody in the chat, and thanks everybody for watching. This has been fun, and I've been super, super lazy with my channel, and I have so much shit backlogged because last month it was just no videos were happening. None.
It gets like that sometimes, but, like, listen, from what I've watched of your channel, I really do enjoy your videos, and I do wish you would make more, but I understand everybody has the time they can give and the time that they cannot give. And if you cannot give time, I understand completely. I get it, but I love your videos. I want to see more of them whenever you have the time to make them.
You want to see more of my demonic altar with Set on it? Stay tuned.
Oh, sounds fun.
God.
But yeah, sounds good. So, all right then. Thank you for asking me on. I really did have a lot of fun. I definitely want to do this again.
Oh yeah, definitely. We'll have to schedule up something.
Mm-hmm. Completely.
Alright, guys. Have a good rest of your Thursday. I don't know why I keep pausing. I know it's fucking Thursday, but have a good Thursday and all that good stuff. And get ready for the equinox because that shit is coming and it's going to be fun because there's a bunch of shit to do. There's a bunch of stuff to do that day. So, Random, you want to plug anything?
Plug anything? Sure. Since you gave me the availability to, I will. You can get readings from me on my website if you just go to my channel, The Random Witch, and you go to the About section. It has links to my Patreon and my website, as well as my store, which has my merch in it. My Patreon, you can support me, my channel, as well as getting amazing perks and readings. And I'm also actually working on something that's really huge. I'm working on developing something. I'm not going to say what it is, but if I do this thing that I plan on doing, if I do this thing that I plan on doing, it might be life-changing for me and hopefully life-changing for others. And so yeah, I plan on expanding a few things. Of what of that, I cannot tell you yet. But yeah, that's me.
Yeah, go get a reading from her. At least, like, give $1 or something. I don't know. Because I've got readings from her, and they're insanely accurate. And they've been a big help, because whatever went wrong has gone wrong, but she's given good alternatives that I couldn't find for myself. So, yeah.
Well, I'm glad to help any way I can.
Oh, yeah. But, hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you on the next time.